to find and defeat the evil Dragon Lord. They'll also need to collect certain key items to trade in for the Rainbow Drop, which will allow the runners to enter Charlotte Castle, the home of the Dragon Lord. They'll also be fighting enemies one at a time to gain experience and levels to grow stronger, as well as gold to purchase weapons, armor, and items to help in their quest. And speak of those items, we got the Fighter's Ring and an herb to start, along with the obligatory magic key.
Oh, we got Hurtmore and a lot of MP to use it with.
So we'll certainly get into that in a moment. The Fighter's Ring, when that's put on, that adds 2 additional attack power to the total, but with the spell of Hurtmore, I don't think you're going to see too much punching in the early going here.
Well, Xarnax out here to prove you wrong. It looked like he was going to move up and then decided to move back down, but up2ng just immediately ran away from a Draki and said, no, let me try to find zone 1 and get something real big here. The Magician, not super big, but they're both going to get level 2 here with haste.
0, 2, 4, and a new spell, and not even going to worry about it because you know you're going to cast it. Meanwhile, Xarnax going with the exploration. He finds Brecconary and nopes right on out of there.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate. up2ng really trying to make that play, finding a better zone here. He did find himself a Scorpion for a quick level 3, and oh my goodness.
Well, the Wombo combo, and look at that speed gain and the magic point gain there for level 3 on up2ng's side. This is 2 definite variances in style. Xarnax is more of somebody who goes for the early exploration. up2ng, he has no qualms about staying in an area and just grinding to level 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever it takes to potentially get maybe a heal spell, and then we'll venture out. So we'll see which tactic is proving to be better as the race goes on.
Yeah, and interesting of note, there are some people who prefer to, as opposed to maybe looking for a heal spell, just look for some sort of agility breakpoint here. And I know for most people, that's usually around 40 or 45. That gives you a pretty good chance to run from most enemies you'll see on the overworld. And with those huge response speed gains we've seen in the first 2 levels, I mean, I think this is where you just got to start exploring.
Xarnax throws the stop spell, figuring that sleep is the dominant attribute, and is correct on it, so he's going to lay a couple of Hurtmores down, and will take this out, so that's going to be a huge 105 experience, and that's going to bolster a couple levels here.
Absolutely, that's massive. That was a huge heads-up play here. Nice HP gain as he skips 1 level over up2ng. And I think he's going to like what he sees here. I think he's going to like these agility gains as well. It's only going to benefit him and let him explore even more.
Well, here is level 5 now for up2ng. 0 power, 7 speed, 24 hit points, the 2 magic points. And the Star Wyvern opted to go with that slight percentage of the DL2 breath instead, so that's going to send Xarnax back. And you're probably looking and thinking, I don't remember seeing the Star Wyvern have that in the regular game. Well, the enemy spells and abilities are randomized here, as are the locations of the enemies, as usually that's a near endgame enemy that you see. Also, the overworld map is shuffled around, the contents of the treasure chests and search spots, the locations of the towns and caves, also the contents of the weapon and armor shops when we get to that point, and the order in which they learn their spells. You certainly don't start with Hurtmore at level 1.
Absolutely not. Question in chat, is Xarnax Prince Cantland? Yeah, he's Prince Cannock from Dragon Warrior 2, the second party member that you pick up here in that particular game. And picking up level 6 here, let's see what it brings.
3, 24, and a new spell. And we've got a cave and a town here on Xarnax's side, and it's the town of Cole.
All right, potential big item pickup here. Xarnax going to skip over the armor shop and beeline straight for it, and he picks up the sword.
Erdrick's sword, the best weapon in the game. It adds 40 attack power to your total. Better than anything at the shop in terms of weapons, and just gets a gander. No shields to be found, but there is a magic armor.
Yeah, magic armor and half plate. That half plate with the the Hurtmore starts, the gold tends to pile up pretty quickly as long as you don't die too much in between. So could potentially pick up that half plate in the near future and then keep that magic armor in mind if there's a gold grind to be had.
Virtual high five going here as up2ng and Xarnax in the same area, both dealing with a metal scorpion. Xarnax going to check out the cave. up2ng not going into coal yet, is just walking back and forth doing some more grinding.
Yeah, I think he's really looking for that heal more spell, and you know, with the wolves out here, or maybe he's just looking for just one more level. With the wolves and the skeletons out here, it's not going to take him too long to get it. He can just pop right back in to get that in to get all of his MP back, and with the HP being what it is, and the sword being right there in coal, I mean, they could start taking on some big monsters here pretty quickly.
Well, Xarnax hunting for information, figuring there was no way that he was getting away from that red dragon. And that is correct.
Interesting choice to start throwing out stomp spells. Did we see a spell out of them, or was he just guessing?
I think that was just a gamble, but I didn't see initially.
All right, without the sword yet, up2ng unfortunately gonna go ahead and have to pop back into this town. Just single-digit experience away from the level. Was there chainmail here? Yes, there is. So very happy to see that. Is up2ng just gonna go ahead and pick that right up. He's gonna be pretty happy to see this sword here too, and he'll be probably right back out and getting level 7 here shortly.
Meanwhile, a leather armor pickup in Breckenary over on Xarnax's side. And also going to get some of the other sundries at the item shop, the Dragon Scale, which once that's put on, that will add 2 defense points to their total. And that will stick around even if you sell or get rid of the item from the inventory. And wow, another 20 agility at level 7.
That's absolutely huge. Their agility must be in the 60 to 70 range by now, which means their defense is going to be high, and they're going to have a pretty decent chance to run away from things. up2ng taking a moment to look and see if he had Repel. He does not, and even if he did, he didn't have enough MP to cast it anyway. That's another thing, too. If they had the Repel spell at this point, they would be able to stop seeing some of this riffraff and start fighting some bigger things.
Xarnax now working in the cave here, and there's an armored knight. Oh, with a back attack, though. Ah, you're kind of stuck here. You're going to try to put it to sleep, but it was not to avail.
Yeah, going for the going for the, I think, 1 in 16 sleep, unfortunately not making that. If you don't get back attacked by that, you've got a good chance of taking it out with a double hurt more, but no such luck for Xarnax. I imagine he'll be going right back inside, though.
It's certainly very close, and it looks like the red dragon, based on the audio that we have here, is the spike spot.
Yeah, up2ng with the kind of insane agility that they have right now, able to run away from that pretty much immediately, and we did hear that kind of enter and exit noise, so confirm that that's going to be the spike tell. So if we want to rescue the princess, we got a work cut out for us in this seed.
Yep, a red dragon as opposed to the usual green that we see, and now making his way through the swamp cave is, well, both runners at this point are both runners. Almost
Swamp
at the
cave
same time. Look at that. It's almost parallel.
Almost, but divergence here. Metal Slime for Xarnax gets 1 hit, runs away, but up2ng the first to find a town on the other side here.
And there's Healmore at level 7. And the town of Garenham.
A little bit more efficient on the sundry purchases here. up2ng going to do the same thing that Xarnax did earlier, and then I imagine just beeline straight for that cave that he saw.
And another metal slime with a Hulk Hogan-esque kick out at 1. Brother, brother. So no keys to access that door to the back end of the town.
That's pretty annoying with Skeleton showing off that heal more. Up2ng probably wishing he could just one-shot that, but not quite.
So both finding the Rainbow Drop Cave, and look at that, it's right by Sharlock.
Alright, so we do see our goal here. Dragon Lord just waiting in Sharlock. They do need to put together that Rainbow Drop before they can make it across that one tile of water. Hero has not learned how to swim in this particular game. So we'll need to be able to make that Rainbow Bridge in order to finish up the seed.
And now it's up2ng's turn for a Metal Slime. And probably is already thinking... up2ng is not a fan of the Metal Slimes. He was one of the vocal advocates to get the Scared Metal Slime flag added to the tournament so that it decreases the likelihood of early findings of one, leading to somebody taking a tremendous lead early on in a race.
Yeah, I'm a fan of that particular flag too, although I suppose in a situation like that I might just try for it, but respect to up2ng decides that no, this isn't how I want to get a lead. I'm just going to do it the old-fashioned way. Ooh, Axe Knight here for Xarnax.
And that's going to get level 8, as meanwhile up2ng finding the Tablet Cave. No enemy encounters, but one treasure chest at the end. And it contains fairy water. Works just like Repel.
10, 5, 3, 15 was that level. I'm not sure if they got a spell or not, but 2 extra heal mores and 3 extra hurt mores is none too shabby.
Well, we've got a town over here in the swamp.
I think this can only be what we're down to 3 towns now. I think Cantlin, Rimeldar, or Hawksness.
Just able to get away and finds the town of Cantlin, the proverbial shopping mall of Alifgard.
Absolutely, and faced with a wealth of decisions here, pauses for a brief second, maybe thinking about checking one of the weapon shops, doesn't have enough money to buy anything that's really going to change his fortunes right now, so might just take the inn and take off.
Yeah, that looks to be the case. I mean, the most you'd find is, what, a small shield that's affordable?
Sometimes you might want to get the information and see if there's a silver shield available in case there's a gold grind later, but no, it decides he wants to get out on the map and just start exploring and finding things as quickly as he can as he gets level 8 to match Xarnax.
And now Xarnax right behind in finding Cantlin, or at least approaching it. And to answer the question in chat, the sleep resist on a Star Wyvern is 15 out of 16. I was looking at the wrong column. It is 8 out of 16. So the beta strep is correct. It is 50-50. I was looking at the wizard right below it.
Well, unfortunate turn of events here for Xarnax getting sent back as up2ng going to continue clearing this out. Thought he found a new cave. No, that's just Tablet Cave, which he cleared out before. But is going to be able to head in a different direction here and see if he can find anything else. Anything he does find, he may find before Xarnax if Xarnax decides to stay on the first continent. Nope, looks like he's headed right back.
Now heading over to the left here, and we do see another town, and it's Hawksness.
Ooh, a big find here for Xarnax. With that Hurtmore spell, he could potentially take out whatever's on the spike tile. up2ng got a first look at a Stone Man, decided not to fight it. But Xarnax with that Healmore spell is going to try his luck. We'll see how well he can do. Yep,
and a question in chat, why didn't they get the coordinates at Cantlin? Well, at this point, there have been no keys found anywhere, so that restricts looking in the treasury in Tantagel. It restricts access to the back of Garenham. It has a few restrictions. And oh no.
Oh boy, red dragons on both spike tiles, so it's going to be pretty difficult to get some of that information in this particular seed. Even with the defense, what it is, I think this thing can one-shot Xarnax. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
47.
I think Xarnax saw the low end of the range and thought, oh, I've got a chance, but no.
Yeah, the endgame grind could be pretty tough here if they're not able to get their hands on a silver shield. It's going to be potentially slow going to try to take out some fun police. But meanwhile, up2ng manages to take out this armored knight. Going to get a look at level 9 here.
3, 4, 2, and 13. I was going to say the stats starting to slow down except for the MP.
Yeah, the MP is really taking off here.
A lot of things have taken off in this seed. I mean, starting with Hurtmore, it'll certainly do that.
up2ng with the first Kaishin no Ichikeki of this particular seed, but not quite enough to take out that Stone Man, and they get sent back to start at the same time.
Yep, up2ng falling to a Stone Man, and Xarnax falling to a Blue Dragon. Both of the runners here are 3-0 heading into this particular race. Neither have a loss against them in this double elimination tournament. up2ng started off by defeating the 41 seed Marashu and then upsetting the, well, I say that in tongue-in-cheek because a lot of the rankings, you could argue the pacing on it, but a fairly even matchup with JJ Schmidt and then beating the 17-seeded Guelph to get to this point. Xarnax, meanwhile, upended the 21-seed NYC guy, and then a pair of upsets over the 5th seed Diabetes II and the 4-seed Brian Williams 42.
Yeah, those seedings in this particular tournament were based on the SRO standings at the time, so kind of dependent a lot on how much action these people chose to take in the pre-tournament races. But at this point, I mean, everybody in this tournament who's left has proven themselves. They've shown their skill, they've shown their knowledge, and now it's all big names from here on out, pretty much. Interesting decision not to go into the cave. I'm fairly certain that's a cave that hasn't been seen before. Now, up2ng has shown a habit here of kind of scouting beyond a new location. I suspect he might be looking for a town or just to see if that peninsula does indeed terminate, and it does. We'll have to go see if he goes back and checks that cave out.
Well, to answer the question in chat, the lowest seed still alive would be Guelph 35, who is the 17 seed currently in the bonus bracket.
Yeah, Guelph, a bit of a newer runner. I think he just started running right before last summer's tournament, and really started tearing it up early. So my hat's off to him. Not a lot of the experience comparison to these more veteran runners, but definitely has shown the talent necessary to compete.
Guelph next set to face Ryguy 3745, who's the 14 seed. You can catch that matchup on a network yet to be determined this coming Saturday afternoon, September 5th at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, and we got our first key sighting here. Up2ng digging one out of the mountain cave. He's checked 2 chests so far, got 2 more to go. There's a cursed belt and another key. This cursed belt's gonna set up at least one of those search spots as populated, those being Cole, Hawksness. Cole, we already saw the sword. Hawksness, there could be something there, and there could be something out on the world map. So with the keys, that's a pretty big advantage here to Up2ng.
Now, what was the first item in the mountain cave, as I had missed it?
I do not remember. I don't think it was consequential. I'm sure chat will remind us here in a moment. Walking out here is Up2ng. A little bit surprising. I'm surprised he's not maybe looking for a death warp to go straight back to the castle.
Well, I'm sure up2ng wants to save the exploration as best he can. Oh, okay, or maybe not. He's maybe he saw a particular enemy up here that might be easier for a death warp.
Yeah, unfortunately, he used fairy water to get back up here, but no, okay, maybe he saw this Armored Knight earlier, and with the Hurtmore and Axemore combo, should have no problem sending Up2ng back, and he's going to get a whole lot of information really quickly.
As there is definitely an active treasure chest glitch, as it was a programming oversight by the creators of the game. They had a data bank. Whenever you open a chest, it kind of gets stored into a bank, and there's only 8 that can be filled. And we see here we've got big bucks. We've got some more big bucks. We've got, well, that's definitely not the chainmail. Might be an herb. That's a torch. Nope, that's a set of wings in the middle.
Second guessing himself a little bit here, does decide to go ahead and do that gold grind before checking out the basement. It'll be interesting. We've seen magic armor, but no silver shield yet. I'm not sure exactly how easy it is to get back to Cantlin. Maybe, I don't remember what was in the Garenham weapon shop if anyone checked it, but unless there's a silver shield there, it might be hard to get back to a place to make that purchase.
Yeah, the reason that's happening, as noted, there are only 8 memory slots as far as open treasure chests. The 5 that are in the mountain cave are applicable, and then when you death warp back, you don't go to the overworld, so it doesn't reset. And the 3 chests that are in the throne room that you opened at the beginning, those are automatically marked as open, so you don't take them over and over again. So the 9th and beyond chest can be taken repeatedly, and with that gold available, that means every take you're grabbing 500 to 755 gold.
Absolutely, we do find Stones of Sunlight Cave here in the basement. That bamboo pole is going to turn out to be the silver harp, one of the required items to beat the seed. And some chat going on here about Up2ng's strategy. I think this is a very interesting play here. I have to guess that Up2ng may feel that given the Hurtmore start, there's a little bit of pressure to just do things as quickly as possible, and since he did decide not to check the shops in Cantlin for a silver shield, but he did see this magic armor, is just going to settle for that and a large shield, and granted a little bit extra just to make sure he could pick up some keys on his way out.
Meanwhile, Xarnax running into another Wombo combo Star Wyvern.
Yeah, this is a bit unfortunate turn of events here for Xarnax. He does hold a pretty significant experience advantage, but the information advantage, clearly on Up2ng's side here, as once he picks up a large shield, I mean, he's going to want to head pretty much straight back to Garenham, and he's going to have access to a lot of information there. Is most likely going to be able to pick up the rest of the quest items pretty quickly here and be in Grand and Go mode.
Oh, rather paltry level 10, but it had to level out at some point. 1 strength, 3 agility, 4 hit points, 1 magic point. And you can see the current difference, 397 in experience in both fighting and Armored Knight. So just as that lead's cut into, it's acquired right back, and here comes level 11 for Xarnax with 1 power, 1 speed, 3 hit points, 7 magic points, and yeah, this is where the bright start of the early going now kind of fizzles out here a little bit.
Yeah, I think slowing down, we have been averaging a level almost every 2 minutes or so, and you don't expect the stats to continue to go up as much as they have, but the agility is definitely where we want it, the MP is where we want it, HP is looking pretty good. I'm not sure about that power, but they have Erdrick Sword to back them up, so, it won't be too long before they can take out the things they need to take out.
Up2ng trying for the stop spell, not getting it, and opting to run away. Xarnax wanting no part of that blue dragon. And runs into a dead end.
I think up2ng might be looking for a new part of the first continent. I'm not sure if he's been this way before. I feel like he's making a loop in known territory.
Well, here's Breckenary. And we're going to see Xarnax is in the mountain cave, so he's going to be considerably closer to getting keys.
Indeed, based on what we've seen so far, the only thing that could really cause him any problems are the Armored Knights, but as long as he doesn't get back attack, should have no problem taking them out, should get himself some keys. We'll have to see. Again, I don't think we know of any silver shield, so it'll be interesting to see if Xarnax chooses to grind up and assume that there's one in Caitlin, or if he stops a little bit short like up2ng did.
Well, there is the key, the first key at least. Up2ng roaming in the dark here through the swamp cave. Here's where having that early key advantage is going to help here. Up2ng going to access the back of Garenham. There's 3 more chests and another cave or entranceway to something.
Yeah, I think at this point the only things we have not seen are the Rainbow Drop Cave and the Grave, if I'm not mistaken.
I think we did see the Rainbow Drop Cave not too far from Sharlock. I don't know if we've seen the Silver Harp Trading Cave for the staff.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah, I got those backwards. Yeah, we have seen the Rainbow Drop Cave. Do need to turn in that Silver Harp, which up2ng will be able to do pretty efficiently if indeed that's what's back here. Another Cursed Belt showing up. I think that's 2 that we've seen so far, so that suggests that at least one of the other 2 searchable spots, either Hawksnest or the world map, are populated.
Well, actually, there were 3 Cursed Belts, and there's the staff cave. As, the back of Garenham had an herb and 2 Cursed Belts.
2 Cursed Belts spotted, so 2 search tiles populated. It'll be interesting to see, now that up2ng can go figure out... Oh, up2ng taking a look realizes he's only got the staff, got a few more things to collect before he can pick up that rainbow drop. But it'll be interesting to see, depending on what these coordinates are, what the next play is. Could be tough with the attack power being so low. Everything else is looking okay, but with the attack power being so low, could be a little bit tough to take out those red dragons, which again are on bullet spike tiles.
So, yeah, chat noting all 3 belts have been found of the Cursed Belts, so that should put everything in play, as there was also a cursed belt in the mountain cave. Here comes level 11 for up2ng. And after probably a slight eye roll, is going to keep on moving over to an Axe Knight.
Xarnax sitting on that leather armor. Again, I unless I missed it, I don't think I've seen a silver shield anywhere. We do know, up2ng picked up that magic armor up there in Cole. I have to imagine Xarnax is going to go to at least, I think, 22 is what you want to pick up both the magic armor and silver shield. Might go a little bit past that. Definitely doesn't need a flame sword. So it'll be interesting to see exactly where he stops and then where he goes from here.
Well, 22.5 would be, as Jay Coper noting in chat, that would be the ideal stopping point, as that'll get you the best defensive equipment that money can buy. But Xarnax seems to be pressing his luck and looking to go a little bit higher here, up to 26,000 and change.
It's an interesting number to stop at, since he's pretty well above what he would need to be able to pick up some keys, but yet below, maybe if he's thinking, well, what happens if I get ambushed and back attacked before I can pick up that silver shield? In that case, you'd probably want to go closer to 30,000. Interesting decision here.
Well, now in Cantlin, up2ng is going to head through those barrier tiles that do 15 HP of damage for every step. And let's see, do we have coordinates? We do. 86 south and 44 west.
Oh my goodness. That's going to be tough to count. I think that's got to be second continent based on up2ng's exploration of the map. And I'm not entirely sure that there is a spot that you can see over to the other side. That might have been something that up2ng was trying to scout out earlier, but I'm not sure if you can find yourself a reliable reference point. We may need to grab the princess here.
Oh, here we go. Breckenary has both the magic armor and silver shield, so Xarnax going to pick both of those up and is as equipped as can be, save for Erdrick's armor.
Indeed, that's going to be pretty huge, as up2ng, very, very unlikely that he ever picks up a silver shield for himself, so plus 10 defense. On the side of Xarnax, if he does choose to grind red dragons at some point in the future, we'll be able to do that much, much more efficiently.
So past the cave here for up2ng. So at this point, the town of Rimmildar is certainly a consideration, but Xarnax is back in Hawksness. And is going to give this red dragon another go here. So here we go, attacking in the teens here, is going to throw a safety heal more out. And up2ng, meanwhile, going for another red dragon, I believe, here in in the swamp cave. So Xarnax takes it out, and there's the death necklace in Hawksness.
Alright, so not too huge a find. Still looking for that armor, hopefully out on the map and not sitting in Sharlock, but if the power stays low and the HP stays high, the HP grows a little bit faster, we could potentially see the Death Necklace used to take on the Dragon Lord, as here comes level 12.
5, 4, 18, 1, and a new spell. Still no repel. And up to NG taking out the Red Dragon as well. Just 13 experience away from level 12, so just 31 experience differentiating our two runners. Well, now 101 here, 36 minutes in.
Indeed, Angel FM noting that Xarnax is going to have some slightly better sequencing here. The routing is going to be a little bit more efficient, but up2ng with a slight lead, he is going to want to check Hawksness, I imagine, at some point, unless this happens to be the armor. He might go back and check and see if it's the token. But if indeed this is the armor on the map, then I do believe that the token would have to be in the grave, which has yet to be found.
Indeed, and we have a question here in chat. So the Death Necklace, in the vanilla version of the game, it's just a cursed item that keeps you from entering the castle, and it's just an overall bad time. Here in the randomizer, a little addendum was put in, a little slight risk-reward. If you put on the Death Necklace in the randomizer, it gives you an additional 10 strength, but at the cost of 25% of your maximum hit points.
Yeah, so we won't see our runners deciding whether or not to slip that on until they're reaching the 130 HP mark or so, as 130 minus 25% is going to bring you down to 97. And with the Dragon Lord able to breathe fire for up to 48, and ideally not hitting more than 48, 97 is the HP you want to be at to have a safe Dragon Lord 2 fight.
So up to NG, returning the princess, so he now has an item in his inventory that is Gwaelin's Love. That essentially is, well, as affectionately known in the Dragon Warrior Randomizer community, the GPS, the Gwaelin Positioning System. Anywhere on the overworld map, she will tell you where she is in relation to you because it's all about her. So with those coordinates, she'll need to tell you that she is 86 paces north and 44 paces east of the castle, and that is the search spot.
Indeed, Jay Cooper noting this race is super close, and indeed it is. Xarnax took a peek at his stats earlier. I want to say I saw 93 agility. I know it's high. I didn't think it was that high.
Well, now here is the finding of Hawksness.
Well, very convenient pathing here, as I do believe he was within about 30 paces or so of the search spot, and heading in that direction took him right to Hawksness, so this is some pretty efficient sequencing here as long as up2ng can take this Red Dragon out.
Well, apart from that overworld spot, which Xarnax is going to go and get those coordinates on now, it looks like probably the biggest difference between the two is Xarnax with that silver shield and that extra 10 defense. 20 defense on the silver shield versus 10 on the large shield. That could make for a much less trepidatious travel through Sharlock Castle.
Okay, so a bit more west, I believe, and quite a bit more south is where up2ng needs to go after he's done taking out this Red Dragon, which, again, really having to chip away here. It's a pretty long fight when you only have 80 or so power, but does manage to pull that off, going to find himself that Death Necklace and pretty much pull even with Xarnax in the Knowledge department.
So an Armored Knight now for Xarnax, and the Hurtmore spell misses. A little unfortunate given that the resistance is 1 out of 16, so that's a 6%, and it misses twice in a row!
That is incredibly unfortunate. Fortunately, Xarnax has more than enough HP, and with that magic armor, all the damage coming out of that Armored Knight will be mitigated. Just detaining him for a little bit longer, but yeah, the double 1 in 16. You hate to see it.
Where's that when you're facing the Dragon Lord and throwing the YOLO Hurtmores out there, right?
Indeed, the swag more yet to be seen in this tournament, as far as I'm aware, but sometimes you like to whip that out and see if it works out for you. Sometimes does, sometimes doesn't.
I wouldn't personally recommend it.
Yeah, only if you've got a lot of spare MP. If the attack power is really high, maybe you just try it out for giggles, but generally not recommended, and especially in a race with runners of this caliber, you'd have to have a pretty comfortable lead to be trying that. So up2ng going to go ahead and top off his HP and MP here, and then head back down in the direction of that search bot as Xarnax grabs the princess. So pretty much the same goals in mind here. up2ng just a touch ahead in the knowledge department. And really, I imagine, hoping that this is the armor.
Well, the Blue Dragon certainly is problematic with that DL2 breath.
So pretty unfortunate RNG on both sides. Sends up2ng and Xarnax back to... Well, I'm sorry, Xarnax went back to start to take the princess home, and up2ng got sent back to start, so... We'll have to see who makes it to the search tile first.
Yeah, both have the Gwaelin positioning systems. Xarnax going to recover at the inn, up2ng making his way through the swamp cave over to the other end of it. And right behind is Xarnax. So as you can see, this is pretty close. They both have the same exploration in terms of items. And I mean, this is neck and neck. And the experience only differentiated by about 100. So this is close.
Well, we know what Beta wants to see. He says, I hope it's Flute, and they spent 10 minutes trying to walk there. That would make for some amusement on the part of the viewers, maybe not so much on the part of the runners, as that would put both of the remaining quest items in the grave, which at 43 minutes into the seed is yet to be found.
Yep, the Schadenfreude is stark with this group. The Schadenfreude is strong, that is for sure. That's right, this isn't SpeedGaming Deutsch. Yeah, stark is the German word for strong, yes. I've been brushing up on my German, hoping for Oktoberfests that aren't going to be happening this year. For global reasons we won't get into.
So the experience lead going back and forth here, basically depending on the encounters that they find, up2ng finding a stone man, choosing to run away. This is really interesting. I know their power is kind of low, but as close to level 13 as up2ng is, I would think you would want to take that experience.
Well, Jay Coper noting in chat that it's not so much schadenfreude as it is wanting to see the runners have to overcome adversity because straightforward seeds are more boring. I think it's a little from column A and a little from column B.
I suspect it's a little more from column B.
Here comes level 13 for Xarnax. 12 power, 0 agility, 11 HP, 2 MP, and there's Repel. Oh, and a double DL2 breath sends Xarnax back to the start.
Meanwhile, up2ng manages to land the stop spell on the Star Wyvern, easy enough to take that out to pick up his level 13 here. The power is going to be much appreciated, I imagine.
And to answer the question in chat, yes, the Garen's Grave is still at large. So too is Rimmeldar, but that's less likely to have something. But, I mean, for all we know, it could have one of the essential items. We don't know. Xarnax beelining it to the west, though, trying to get back to where he was. Up2ng, very low on resources, going to hold on to the MP and utilize a couple of herbs. Not a bad plan, as you at least have a couple of Hurtmores in tow. Maybe some sleeps if you need them for these stone men here. To answer the question, chat, isn't Grave in Garenham? Yes, in the vanilla version, that is the case, but because the locations are shuffled around, the back of Garenham was the Silver Harp trading cave for the Staff of Rain. Oh, and here's a blue dragon able to get away, though, is up2ng. And back to Hawksness, and Xarnax, meanwhile, is getting a little closer. I think it has to go up a little bit more. 88 and 44, yep, go up 2 more and you got it. But of course, there's an Armored Knight right on the spot, just to build the tension that much more. What could it be? Is it Erdrick's armor? Is it the Stones of Sunlight? The Erdrick's token? The Fairy Flute? We will know in a matter of seconds. It is the Stones of Sunlight.
Well, the odds of armor in Sherlock just went up by a lot. We still need to find that token, which at this point has to be in the grave. So the faster that Xarnax can find the grave, the faster he can put the rest of this together.
Well, our runners haven't found Rimmeldar, have they? It could be in that chest behind the 2 doors in Rimmeldar.
Indeed, good call. There is that double door chest. Could have that last plot item. You'd still want to check the grave just in case the armor is there. But yeah, you definitely do need to find Garenham or Rimmeldar and make sure that it's not there.
Yeah, I mean, granted, it's less likely. At this point, the odds are... I mean, you're looking at 1 in 6 as far as finding Erdrick's token, and 5 of those 6 chests are in Garenham. So that would be the way to go, but... Well, we're going to have our answer in a matter of seconds here, as up2ng is in Rimmeldar.
up2ng not only in Rimmeldar, but saw a cave right next to it that has to be the grave. So right as Betastrep was saying he found a lot of nothing, he's got the token, and the grave right there. We'll have to see how much of it he decides to dig out.
Well, I said highly unlikely, but there's that 16% chance, and it paid off. Commentator's blessing, I suppose.
Indeed, so still needs to get the stones out of the search map, but maybe he was trying to find these 2 locations instead and use the GPS later on. That may pay off big here, because the longer it takes Xarnax to find these two locations kind of out in the middle of nowhere. Xarnax thought he had the token.
And is looking and realizes that is the case. So now you see why he is known as the jerk, because if you don't have Erdrick's token, he will kick you out of the cave like the jerk that he is. So we've got the top 3 chests. We've got the fairy flute. There's some big bucks. And an herb. So only 2 more chests. Now, up2ng is going to do the dig here, do the dive in Garen's grave. He is looking for Erdrick's armor, as that will make Sharlock considerably easier if it is down here. If it is not, well, it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge once they get in there.
Indeed, going to be a bit more of a challenge. Odds pretty heavily in favor of Sharlock at this point, but you're already here. So it makes sense to do your due diligence and make sure that the armor's not here, because it's going to really set you back if you try to dive Sharlock and find it not there. Here is chest number 4 for up2ng, and he's going to find another key. He's going to get a refund on the one he spent to get down here. Just 1 location left.
So only 8 spots that we don't know about. 7 of them are in Sharlock Castle. 1 of them is deep in Garen's grave. And 1 of them contains Erdrick's armor. To answer the question in chat, up2ng did find Rimmeldar, and Rimmeldar had Erdrick's token. Last chest here, up2ng gets to it. It is the torch. That means Erdrick's armor is in Sharlock Castle.
Well, with the agility being relatively high, you could potentially dive it now. It'll be interesting to see. You know, these are some tough decisions to make, as if you want to grind, your options are either Red Dragon or Red Dragon, and maybe he could find his way down for the armor. It'll be interesting to see.
And thank you, chat, for helping my Schadenfreude point be proven. There shouldn't be that much rejoicing over Erdrick's armor being in Sharlock. So Xarnax continuing to head west here, and now doubling back. up2ng, meanwhile, is hoping that the armor is in that search spot. We know that it is not the case.
I think he has to know that it's not the case, too, as he's searched pretty much everything he can except for the search spot, and he doesn't have the stones yet.
Oh, that's right. He's looking for the stones at this point. He knows that it's the stones.
Yeah, so he knows that it's going to be in Sharlock, and while he tries to, he's about 4 steps away from the spot, and once he finds it, interesting play there. But yeah, he's just got to go like down to and right a little bit. Once he finds this, as he's on his way, he's going to be thinking, what do I want to do at this point? And it's a series of tough decisions, and again, this is where that silver shield really starts to shine if Xarnax decides to either fight his way down, gain a few levels, a little more agility, a little more power. Either choice, Xarnax is going to benefit from that silver shield.
Indeed, but the longer that it takes for him to find Rimmeldar, the greater the advantage goes to up2ng. Well, a nice crit there on Xarnax's side. Well, the experience differential continues to be about 600 to 700. Here comes level 14, 11 power, 1 speed, 2 hit points, and 7 magic points. Yep, up2ng heading on to that Rainbow Drop Cave, going to turn everything in. And will be the first to acquire the Rainbow Drop at 57 minutes and 20 seconds. But there is the great equalizer that is Charlock. And a great point being brought up in chat that, yes, if you're looking for a randomizer that is a little more lenient when it comes to execution, this is the game to certainly play. You don't have to worry about any frame-perfect tricks or anything like that with Dragon Warrior Randomizer. It's a little bit more strategy-based than it is execution-based. Now, up2ng taking care of the errands here, allowing Xarnax to get a bit of an experience lead, but given that up2ng can dedicate to a grind at this point, that probably is going to disappear, although up2ng heading over to Charlock here. Now, I wonder if he's just looking on the... Well, maybe this is a bit of a dual-purpose thing. He is heading into Charlock. He's going to try to get the armor, but also grind on the way down. Kind of a little dual-purpose trek, to say the least. And already a bit unfortunate with that green dragon that has a 1 in 8 chance of dodging the hurt more or having it not work. Now we have a question in chat. Is Xarnax near the grave or Rimmeldar? I'm not 100% certain where it is in relation to Xarnax, so long story short, I don't know. We have Angel FM in chat saying that he's close. But as you can see, up2ng already chipping away at that experience lead as Xarnax is frantically looking for what is needed. And you see the disadvantage of not having the armor in Charlock Castle. And there it is. As long as... Oh, goodness. Ooh. That blue dragon was going to make it a bit cumbersome here. And Xarnax going into the grave first. Now, if he full dives the grave, this is going to be a grave mistake. Now, maybe he'll get the top 3 chests and then dip out of there.
Alrighty, I had to step away for a little bit, but it looks like we've got some interesting decisions being made here. It looks like I see up2ng in Sherlock, probably looking for that armor. Xarnax also looking for that armor. Is he going to dive? I think he has to.
Yes, to emphasize the chat, given the knowledge that we have, we know that it's a mistake, that it's going to take more time for Xarnax. So maybe it's not a mistake, but it is a time sink. So Xarnax has grabbed everything here, is going to head on west here to Rimbledar, and is going to pick up the Erdrick's token. So there is an Axe Knight on up2ng's side, as Xarnax is now taking care of the last little bit of errands here. Is going to pick up the Rainbow Drop, and well, look at this here. up2ng is in Sherlock, and Xarnax not too far behind in the experience differential, not too far.
Yeah, it was about double digits when they started these opposite fights here. A little bit of a lead for up2ng, but once Xarnax takes this out, he's going to take the lead right back, and then... Oh, can't fight the Blue Dragons. They do have that DL2 breath. Werewolves, I don't think, have anything special. So, yeah, this is about as close as it gets. Everything we would have expected out of a race with these two runners.
Now, for those who just may be popping in, I want to reiterate, this is not necessarily the dive for either of the runners.
Well, with up2ng sitting at 25 MP, no, it is absolutely not the dive. I think he's had to leave twice now, just based on the MP he's had to expend. But we're getting close, chat. debating what the power is. CyberDark86 noting it's 113 attack power right now. And I do believe they're sitting on maybe 12 heal mores. So you're going to want a bit more than that. Probably looking closer to 130, 135 unless the MP goes up significantly in the near future.
That's merely for those who at first glance they go, oh wow, both of our runners are in Sharlock, here we go. No, it's not the final dive.
Absolutely not. They do still need to find that Erdrick's armor, both sitting on magic. That's why they took damage from the barrier tiles. up2ng now cruising through the diamond floor, now on the switchback floor. And closing in on that final enemy set. It'd be interesting to see if he goes for the treasury first, or if maybe he tries to sneak a peek at the judge's table first, the vanilla sword chest.
Oh, and here's the Star Wyvern. He is able to get away, though. And a big 255 for the Red Dragon takeout on Xarnax's side. And chat noting here that with the defense currently at 91 for Xarnax versus 81 for up2ng, that when Xarnax does make the dive, there are going to be a lot fewer encounters if he decides to bring some fairy waters with him. So up2ng just steps away from the treasury, but here is a Star Wyvern. He's able to get away. And able to get away from the Red Dragon as well, down to one herb. And Xarnax taking out a Stone Man, and there's Erdrick's armor in the 250 chest.
First try. I wonder if he's forgetting he has the fighter's ring. I don't understand what he could be opening these chests for.
Maybe trying to get another free herb. Oh, now he realizes, okay, what the heck am I opening these for? So what are in those two remaining chests, unless Xarnax checks them out first? Like how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop, the world may never know. And oh, Xarnax is gonna... Oh, he's going for the vanilla Erdrick sword chest, the judge's table as we know it.
This is a bold play. Might feel like he's a little bit behind. Unfortunately, we know it's not going to pay off, but I like the play.
And it's a set of wings. And yeah, an interesting analysis in chat, but generally runners at this caliber, once they get to a certain point in a seed, the concept of a gold grind is pretty well thrown out the window. Usually after the first maybe half hour, it is not considered.
Yeah, the time it takes to go, you really want to set up a gold grind as you're finding things. If you can, being able to pull a key out of Mountain Cave and take the Death Warp and then go back and find the gold grind there. That's usually the time that you want to do it at, but doing it now where you have to go back into a cave and open up all the chests and set that whole thing up again, that's probably going to cost you, I want to say, at least 3 or 4 minutes. And at this stage of the game where either runner could possibly be in grind and go mode, that could cost you almost a level's worth of experience. So not likely to see that here.
Oh, a back attack. Now out of MP resources here, using his last heal mores on the penultimate floor of Sharlock. And we are going to find out. So that's an herb. That's some gold. And there's the armor, and Xarnax is getting the heck out of Dodge, not going to bother with that dragon scale.
It'll be interesting to see if he tries to make the walk towards the spike tile. He's going to have to contend with this DL2 breathing Star Wyvern first, choosing to fight it. He's going to be basically out of resources at this point, though. This is...
Oh, and there's the sleep. I don't know about this.
Using the herb is a bit of an odd play there. I'm not sure if maybe he was trying to go for an intentional death warp or what he was hoping for, but either way, he's going to go back to start.
And just like that, the experience lead back on up2ng's side ever so slightly by 91, I believe.
And sitting on exactly 12 heal mores now, but only 114 attack power. Strap in, folks. We're going to be here for a while. Question in chat, what was on Sherlock Trap Tile? We don't... Oh, and Hawksnest Trap Tile is a red dragon, so our grind choices are basically red dragon or red dragon.
Yeah, it's hardly cake or death.
Little Red Cookbook? When do we run out of red dragons? I don't think they expected such a rush.
Never would have thought you would have gotten an Eddie Izzard reference here in the commentary, yet here we are.
Do red dragons taste of chicken?
Goodness. All right, let us, at least for the moment, end this silliness to let you know that while they are respectively grinding on their red dragons, that coming up we have another matchup here tonight, and I saw that there was an announcement that it'll be on a different network, Randomizer 2, and that'll be coming up at the bottom of the hour. That is DX9146 against Monsieur Slime. That is an elimination match. But that'll be coming up shortly. We are going to be sticking with you for the duration, though. And more than likely, that'll be the direction that you'll want to go.
Indeed. With the red dragons here, with the HP and the heal more spell, the attack power is going to make this a little bit slow, but I don't imagine we'll be here too much longer. So with about 20 minutes to go before the start of that race, could slide smoothly in on the transition. We do have, well, they're tied in experience for now, but with up2ng just having refreshed his resources and Xarnax sitting at about half his max MP, once Xarnax has to leave, we'll see up2ng probably take a 2 or 3 dragon lead. Wow, Kaishin no Ichigeki! That's going to speed things up a bit.
Apparently I had a Freudian slip as DK9146. My constant covering of professional wrestling as a broadcast journalist, I defaulted to DX. And as I said in chat, if you're not down with that, I've got 2 words for you. I goofed.
Good choice of words. Yes, Ruler. That is exactly what we do. You gotta get hype, man, especially for up2ng versus Xarnax. Great race so far, and an hour and 15 in, it's basically lived up to the hype as close as you could imagine, as again, We've got dueling grind series noted in chat. You are almost seeing double, just a little bit desynchronized, and when they're going to be going back and getting those resources topped off. And of course, Mike W noting in chat that Xarnax does have that silver shield, up2ng's large shield. That's a difference of 10 defense. And boy, when you're grinding red dragons, you know, it'll be interesting to see how much more efficiently Xarnax is able to do this.
Well, despite that, I mean, the difference, well, there's a nice crit on up2ng's part. Here comes level 16, 14 power, 7 hit points, 1 magic point, no agility. So now 128, and Xarnax is immediately beelining out of there.
I didn't see what the max HP or MP was. Everyone calling go mode. I find that a little bit interesting as swinging 7 to 14 here. That's only a 10.5 average.
You can see crunching the numbers here. Well, having the 96 versus 86, that's a big difference, that defense.
That is indeed a big difference, and with the 123 HP, 96 defense, Xarnax has a pretty good chance at getting some doubles here. It's probably what he's thinking of, and it looks like he's headed right down. Gonna go ahead and start that first. This is the real dive, 117 in.
But here are the red dragons, able to get away after a back attack. These red dragons are certainly making it interesting, and they're giving up2ng a chance to catch up here, and the blue dragons on this floor as well. And we are roughly half a floor apart between our two runners, and it looks like they're both going for it here.
Well, they both have 92 agility, so are basically a coin flip to run from anything in here. Of course, we do know, I believe the Star Wyverns have the full Wombo. I can't remember if we saw any of these in here before. I think on the final floor we saw those. The Blue Dragons, of course, having that DL2 breath. Hopefully not too hard to get away from here. And, wow, synchronized stair walks here, but Xarnax, I believe, on the diamond floor. So about a floor apart are these two runners.
up2ng navigating with the torch. Xarnax trying to go in the dark here.
Xarnax has shown some pretty excellent dark navigation throughout the entire seed. So looking like he's having no problems here, and he is clear through the diamond floor. Now making those movements on that switchback floor, and having a pretty smooth go of it so far.
Oh no, up2ng unable to run away from a fire-breathing dragon and is sent back to the start.
Blue Dragons don't care about your 92 agility. All it takes is a couple of run fails, and back to Tantazel you go. And Red Dragons also do not care about your 92 agility, as Xarnax, I believe, just failed to run from one about 4 or 5 times, and he gets sent back to start.
Well, this just got even more interesting.
So up2ng stopping by Garenham to pick up some herbs here, and well, sometimes when you get bopped out first, you're the first to give back, and that's going to be the case for up2ng here.
So up2ng going to be the first to re-enter Charlotte Castle.
Entering at 1:21 and 14 seconds. It'll be interesting to see about how much further behind Xarnax is. I'm going to say about 20 seconds will be the difference. Could be easily overcome depending on the encounters that they get. Less than 20 seconds apart. up2ng still here on the first floor. Red Dragon for Xarnax.
And again, having troubles getting away.
Alright, well, the Green Dragon's proving not as much of a problem to get away from. up2ng closing in on that diamond floor. Xarnax right on his heels. Chat noting that they both have to imagine that a .done could be coming in at any time now. FC, the FC bot has actually exited and left the room at one point here. Sometimes when you're looking at IRC in the middle of a race like this, those little messages when you expect a .done in IRC can give you a little bit of a near heart attack, but little do they know, they're almost standing on the exact same tile.
Oh, and there's Wizards with DL2 Breath. I don't know if we've seen that thus far this seed. And now here's the fire-breathing Star Wyvern gets away. So Xarnax now in the third basement, and look at that synchronization, except one goes fire, the other goes sleep, and here we go. Able to get away, though, is Xarnax.
The defense broke an attack out of the Star Wyvern saves Xarnax42. They are literally on the same floor, separated now only by Xarnax's choice to use an herb.
Well, having a little trouble here navigating in the dark.
Yeah, they both had some decent encounter luck here, but unfortunately Xarnax had a little bit of trouble finding the stairs there on the U-shaped floor now. up2ng already on the final floor. Oh boy, up2ng just barely getting away from a red dragon. He gets back attacked, finds another red dragon. Manages to get away though, but is now out of herbs.
These resources extremely important, and here's another red dragon able to get away this time.
Birdie Bot would be happy to see this, Charlotte. We've got every flavor of dragon down here. up2ng seeing both the red and blue varieties. Xarnax seeing the green. You know which one our runners want to see. There's only one. As Xarnax runs to a red dragon, manages to get away. The green dragon on both sides, a little bit easier to get away from.
And look at this. They are mere steps apart from one another until the encounter. Here's the Guardian. It is a golem. And up2ng looking for the fairy flute. Xarnax going to do the same.
Dueling Golem battles. Who's going to get the better RNG? Oh, no! So up2ng sees the sleep and the hurt. Xarnax only sees the hurt. So not a lot of risk of death here, but do we just have the same streams up?
It feels that way. I'm waiting for the... Yeah, I was going to say, I'm waiting for the fairy flute to go ding-a-ding, ding-ding, ding-ding, ding-ding.
Dueling flutes here as they both manage to get out of the golem fight at the same time. Xarnax42 stopped momentarily by a green dragon. That is the difference. I've never seen this. This is crazy. This is as close to a potential tie as I think I've ever seen now. up2ng, 2 attacks into this fight, does not have any herbs. Rolls low, is gonna have to burn the heal more before going into this fight. The silver shield could still make the difference.
Oh, and a back attack. Just a 4-second difference between the starts of the fight here. We've got 14 on up2ng's side.
All right, basically swinging for max there, I do believe. And he's going to need to see a lot more of those. Xarnax swinging for 9, a 13 out of up2ng. He's already up to 27. up2ng continuing to swing above his average. Every single one double digits. I believe 50 is the count. With another max roll there, I believe he's up to 72, about halfway through this fight.
The rolls have been putrid here for Xarnax, but he's been able to get doubles.
Oh boy, 83 or so here for Xarnax with that 9. It's going to be down to 92, maybe considering swinging on 45. That would be very unsafe. Alright, I do believe he's in the 90s now, swinging on 47. Bold move here, breathing fire, don't see, wow, the 46, leaving him with just 1 HP. Okay, big 13 here. I don't know what the count is. It's got to be in the high 100s. Probably around 110 or so. And we can see from the MP here, oh goodness, the 7. This is it. This is do or die time for up2ng. He's got 2 attacks left. He really needs to roll high. He needs the Dragon Lord to roll low. 8 is probably not going to do it. Is going to get 2 more attacks here. Another 8. He's done it! He's done it! up2ng with 2 minimum rolls, near minimum rolls, has done it. With the last 2 attacks he could possibly get out of that fight, he has done it. And Xarnax42 has done it at almost exactly the same time. Break out your GGs. We have up2ng finishing in first place with an SRL time of 129.23, and Xarnax42 in second place with an official SRL time of 129.36. 13 seconds is the difference.
13 seconds. That is amazing.
And the reactions in IRC reflect the difference. They're both in shock and awe. I cannot wait for this interview. This is a winner's bracket race, so no one is out just yet, as this is a double elimination tournament. So Xarnax going to go down to the bonus bracket, while up2ng will continue his run through the upper side, and we're going to get them in here as quickly as we can for this interview.
I'm just calculating the attacks. I was writing them down as we were going along here. But the attack the RNG did not favor Xarnax in terms of the attacks. I see there were 2 max attacks on up2ng's side. At no point did Xarnax hit above a 12.
Wow. So those that silver shield paying off. I wasn't paying as much close attention to Xarnax's fight, but if he was hitting right around the average, must have been able to squeeze in some doubles. He did also go in with the extra hurt, the extra heal more, and I maybe not getting back attacked, so better odds going into the fight for Xarnax42. And was able to pull it out in the end.
So I've got the numbers here. So it took 15 attacks for up2ng to get 159. It took 17 attacks for Xarnax to get 160.
Lenart noticing that green dragon stall hurt Xarnax. Indeed it did. Don't know exactly how much time that cost him, but yeah, 13 seconds. Has to be one of the closest tournament races I think I've ever seen.
This has been absolutely amazing. But no, as I look at the attacks here, it definitely favored up2ng. I see there were 2 14s, there were 3 13s, there was a 12, quite a few, I think 3 11s here as well, as opposed to on Xarnax's side, I saw there were 2 12s, there were 3 11s, there were 3 7s, 3 minimum rolls, as well as 3 8s. So it definitely favored up2ng in terms of the RNG, and that looked to literally be the difference. That and that encounter right before the Dragon Lord. So, I mean, GG to both of them. They both gave you a heck of a race here, and this easily could have gone either way depending on what the RNG wanted to do.
Absolutely could have gone either way. Lorgon noting in chat the Dragon Lord 2 had 159 max HP. So up2ng hit it right on the nose. And Xarnax managed to get a little bit farther. We do have up2ng joining us in chat. Got Xarnax42 as well. up2ng, GG, man. How are you feeling about that one?
I mean, that was exhausting. I mean, GG, I mean, what a race. Wow, GG, man.
Man, GG. What a heartbreaker.
I mean, it's exhausting. It's level 1 hurt more, and it's just you feel like your fingers have to be flying for the entire time. And anytime it's like an hour and a half in on level 1 hurt more, it's like, I don't know. I'm not feeling that great about it. So,
man, I had so many things go wrong. I was watching for the last 15 plus minutes for the done, and then it keep waiting and waiting, and finally,
yeah.
Like by the time I beat the Dragon Lord, I'm like, he must have just had some bad Shylock dives, and I think I may actually have this, and then I'm walking back to the king, and boom, there's the done.
I did have one bad dive, but yeah, mostly I think the map just didn't go well for me. I retraced a lot of steps the way the routing worked out for me, so I was just really wandering around.
Rimildar and Grave were the last things I found.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I full cleared the rest.
No, like I went northeast first, coming out of Swamp Cave, which means like Garenham and like Cantlin and all these things where I don't have keys. So then it's like I gotta get I eventually get keys like somewhere totally separate, and then have to do the whole thing all over again. Yeah, Mountain Cave for me too. Yeah, we have similar races. It sounds like wow, crazy.
Yeah, there were a lot of parallels. There were a couple of divergences, but it almost felt like a figure 8 slalom. Like you just kind of kept meeting back in the middle despite your departures. And we had noted that the 2 main differences in your DL2 fights, Xarnax had an encounter just before the Dragon Lord in between the golem that was guarding and the Dragon Lord. up2ng did not. And the rolls were heavily favoring up2ng.
Not surprised by that.
There were 2 14s, there were 3 13s.
All right, so I'm assuming that Xarnax had an extra level then?
No, you both were on the same level. You're both on 16.
Okay.
It's just, I'm looking here, I mean, Xarnax did not have an attack that went above 12 despite the 7 to 14 range.
Man, how did he win on 16 then?
I had a
He
gamble
had
at
Silver
46.
Shield.
Oh, Silver Shield, that would help. So we
So
got the
that
A
extra
team on
defense.
comms, Furon and Lafkin. All right, I can't wait. Thanks for
Yeah,
doing it, guys.
I did have one swing fairly early in the fight at 46.
Oh, you know what? I'm thinking now. I think I was down a heal more going into the fight. That's why it felt really close. Yeah, now it makes sense. Okay. Yeah, the rolls were quite good because I don't know. DL1 went super bad. Did you consider Death Necklace, Xarnax? We would have gone down to 93.
I did.
Yeah, for me, I was down a heal more already. I was like, I think this might work out better if I used the necklace, but like, I just didn't want to do it and end up being wrong. Because the dive,
Right.
like having the necklace with dive would have been terrible.
Yeah, I was thinking if I use the Death Necklace, I need 2 more heal mores. If I don't need, or I mean, I've got two heal mores I can burn on double heal mores, but I didn't do the math to make sure, to know for sure what my HP was going to be after I used it.
Oh,
and then I was thinking, I
knew it was
doubles
93, but still, like,
if I don't equip it, I'm going to get doubles, and I should be favored to win.
it was a close
It's
call.
actually funny because we probably felt similarly. I felt way behind for the last half hour or so.
Yeah, I mean, things were going okay for me, but then it was just like I had to just keep walking the map. We didn't get repel for a long time, and I was just like, man, I'm just not making progress. I still have to find things. Yeah, it started getting worse and worse in terms of how I was feeling about it.
But yeah, so my I approached this one very similarly to my race last week with Brian. I felt so far behind. I was very strongly considering just going a level or 2 before go time and just throwing out a couple hurt mores and trying to get lucky.
Oh, nice.
And,
yeah, unfortunately, I guess we got like 14 power all in one level here, so it was a really good opportunity.
Yeah, when I was thinking about doing that, I hadn't even done the math on the fight yet. But then I was looking at 128 strength and this much MP and HP. I might actually be able to just fight this. and yeah,
that's funny though. Hurt more strats just in case.
I think I died. Maybe it was just once.
In the back of my mind, I was thinking like if I get like really badly run blocked by a red dragon, I will go ahead and burn a couple of heal mores and then go ahead and use the necklace. I felt like it was like a backup plan. Like
that would have been a good. That would have actually been a good idea. Because I lost a run. I think it was the youth lore maybe. To like 5 run fail red dragon.
5 run fail, that's not good. My first dive, I had a triple run fail on a blue dragon, which blue dragons were like in the seed. So, and I just refused to heal more on that one because it's just like we're like 80% to run or something, and I was just like, I'm just gonna run from this blue dragon. I don't care, and failed 3 times in a row. So that was fun. But yeah, I mean, I think I only had one other real overworld death that was like a setback. Mostly it was like,
gosh.
Yeah, mostly it was just I was just wandering all over the place.
I felt like I had terrible overworld luck. Well, terrible RNG. My exploration felt really, really good until I needed Rimildar and Garanham.
Must have been an awesome show.
Grave.
I don't know if there's any more questions from the commentators.
Well, something that chat was discussing as far as Xarnax, with that added defense advantage, did it cross your mind to maybe pop into Breckenary, grab a couple of fairy waters to make the journey down Sharlock a little bit easier? You wouldn't have to worry about those green dragons, the star wyverns, the axe knights even, because you had 96 defense.
It crossed my mind. I'm really curious what the math on that is. I feel like if you have fairy waters that you're not going to use in the Dragon Lord fight, using them is the obvious play. But going out of your way to get them, I'm not sure if that saves enough time to make it worth the trip.
Yeah, it was something that Chad was definitely thinking.
Continent, but Cantland, I think, wasn't too far from Sharlock, if I recall. It was kind of like up around the corner.
if you get sent back to the castle.
Yeah, it was. I guess it wasn't too far from the castle. Yeah, I don't know. That would have been an interesting play. I tend to not use fairy water as much as maybe we're supposed to these days with the newest flag set, but I don't know.
With Repel working in dungeons and caves. And yeah, I think, I mean, maybe in the long run, granted, you did run into a lot of red dragons on those first couple of floors, and Beta Strep noting in chat, each encounter you get rid of is about 5 seconds minimum. And with the difference of this being 13 seconds, that's just 3 battles saved, and you've already, that swings it 2 seconds in your favor.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, I feel like it takes probably almost a minute to buy those fairy waters, but yeah, he's probably right. It feels like it's too far out of the way, but that's probably not true. And
also of note that one of those enemies, the Star Wyvern, had that wombo combo you definitely want to get rid of, and that would have been something that even up to NG at 86 defense could have avoided as well.
Yeah, I actually did think about that, and I saw that we didn't have any, or at least I didn't have any MP to spare for casting Repel, and I was like, man, yeah, if I had a fairy water, that would have been nice. These Star Wyverns are dangerous, but yeah.
Now, we do have a question for up to NG in chat about the first time that you were in the region after you had rescued the princess, about not using Waylon's love to look for the coordinates once you had gotten them.
Yeah, I did. I used it like once or twice, and then I just kind of like lost track of it. Yeah, that was definitely an error. I had looped all the way back to the east and eventually found, I forget what I found, a cave or something. And then I realized it at that time. So by then I was like, well, I might as well just dive the grave, and maybe I don't need to go over there. But yeah, while I was over there, I definitely should have grabbed it. That was definitely a mapping error there.
Well, this is going to be a heck of a watch back. Definitely one of the closest finishes that we've seen. Just 13 seconds. Just shows the caliber of play that we are reaching as we get further and further into the tournament. Looking ahead here as far as what the results mean. Up to NG, you are going further in the... Well, yeah, you're advancing essentially to the I guess the upper bracket finals, for lack of a better term. And you'll be taking on the winner of Nest Cardinality and Tristal.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I should easily be able to win that one. I don't know. No problem.
That's a 180 from last week.
Yeah.
I like it.
And meanwhile, Xarnax, you'll get to kind of sit back and see what goes on, as you'll be taking on the winner of Angel FM and, well, determining the winner of this a race that's currently going on, in fact. And that's DK9146 against Monsieur Slime. The winner of that race, which is currently going on, will face Angel FM. The winner will face you after that.
All right.
Yeah, and that'll be coming up.
No matter
that'll be coming up around. That I think will be the week after Labor Day.
Yeah, when I was looking at the brackets, I think even going into this race, I feel like we had basically made the final 6. This the way everybody gets matched up in the bonus bracket. Because I think you go straight to the bonus bracket semifinals. So yeah, basically in the final 6.
Yeah.
So not too shabby.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, definitely some. Yep. Okay. Confirmed from Angel FM would be in the final 6. So there certainly is. There's not a lot to look forward to, but in the same realm, there is quite a bit to look forward to. As if the rest of the matches are anything like this one, man, nobody's going to have any fingernails by the time the beginning of October rolls around here. Yeah, this has been a heck of a good one. We thank you for tuning in here to SpeedGaming, and I want to thank the folks behind the scenes here for SpeedGaming who were able to put this together, as well as our tracker, Cami and Renikai. And Lafkin, any last thoughts here before we wrap things up?
I mean, I was excited to see this race before it started. It was a delight to cast it. It was as absolutely close as anyone could have possibly expected. GG to both of you. An excellent, excellent race.
Yeah, I think just the attacks on the Dragon Lord, I'm looking here running the numbers. Out of the 15 attacks at up to NG, only 6 of them were in single digits, so 9 double-digit attacks. Meanwhile, out of the 17 attacks needed by Xarnax, 8 of them were single digits, including 3 minimum rolls of 7. So the RNG certainly not helping in that regard, but that notwithstanding, this was a nail-biter. It was down to the wire. It was a heck of a race, and just shows the caliber of both of these players. And you definitely want to give both of them a follow, up to NG and Xarnax42. And make sure to follow SpeedGaming if you haven't already, as there's all kinds of great matchups here. Cami and Renikai taking care of the tracking, my broadcast partner Lavkian. For everybody here at SpeedGaming, I'm Ferran Burgundy saying until next time, stay classy, my friends, and more importantly, stay safe. We're now going to take you over to Randomania 2, where the next tournament matchup underway about 20 minutes ago, DK9146 against Monsieur Slime. Good night from SpeedGaming.